folks, Evil DM here. I'm back for another episode of RailGuns and Dragons, the Palladium books series I'm doing in my channel here. First, before I start this video today, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, the like button. Also, hit the little bell icon so you know when you get my videos right away. If you definitely like this thing, make a comment below. Give me some feedback on why you also agree or disagree with me, as long as it's constructive. It'd be great to share those comments below and have some discussion amongst all the all the viewers. Anyway, this video today is going to focus on I love Palladium RPGs and why you should too. That's the name of this video. These are the top couple of reasons why. We're going to do number 5 on my top 5 list here, doing it like kind of Letterman style. So I'll get my little cards ready here. Number 5 reason is the original ownership. Palladium has been owned and operated by the same staff of people since practically day one. Actually, it is day one. And has not even changed one bit since then. Maybe a few people here and there, but the core group stays the people in control since they even went mainstream and blew up since Rifts. These books aren't exactly the same style. They've had some minor updates over the years and they've, maybe improved, but the books give you the info you need, the system you want without all the bloat and everything. I enjoy the simpler style of books. I enjoy the books with layouts that focus on rich setting information and ideas as opposed to fancy splats and everything that you can see today in like the Wizards of the Coast or Paizo. I mean, I think they're beautiful books. It's just, I don't really care for that. I just want the information and some little pictures here or there as a reference. But yeah, that's how I like my books. I like the 80s and 90s style of RPG books and how it's presented, and they've continued along that path, still harkening back into their first days. Number 4 is the fan community. I have to say the community is one of the most wonderful bunch of people that I've ever had to associate with over the years. They're very passionate about their games, and they want to game with anyone who sits at their table and just game. They don't want to deal with bullshit. They just want to game. You can have this conversation with folks hours on end just by talking about a simple location in Palladium Fantasy or the coalition in Rifts and how they are the bad guys and or not the bad guys, just saving the human race. I appreciate a really well populated community that doesn't focus on bull crap, just wants the game, doesn't care about things. The books are the books, and they talk about the things and they debate. Yeah, sure, they argue, but that's what we all do, and that's just human nature. Number 3 that I like is the lore and the story of the books. Any of all the books you pick up of the core books are jam-packed full of information. Enough information for you to run a full game and not have to grab another book if you didn't want to. Of course, they encourage you to grab other books because it expands upon the other material because they're source books. Every gaming company wants to do that. It's expand on material, give you more ideas to roll with. But you really don't need to get anything else. The one core book, like the Rifts book or the Palladium Fantasy 2e book, should be enough to make your imagination run wild like Hulkamania. But yeah, that's one of the things how I appreciate that. I really enjoy a rich story and lore, and normally I will take a book and an RPG and I'll just be like, yeah, well, okay, I'll just use my own setting. But I enjoy their setting as it is listed in the book. Sure, I might make a few detailed changes to it to fit my narrative, but overall, I like the story that they have going for everything. Number 2 is the complexity and the flexibility all at the same time. I find the rules do take a little bit to wrap your head around, especially if you're a new person or you're a person coming back to the game after many years. But once you get it down and start playing and realizing it flows pretty good. You may have to make up some house rules just to make some things work that don't make sense, but that's where the flexibility part comes in. The house ruling and the rules that you can make, it just doesn't really destroy your game. You're actually balancing it for you and your group. So it's encouraged, and I'm pretty sure that it's encouraged throughout the Palladium company to do what you want to do to make your game fun. That's what matters, you and your game, nothing else. And finally, the number one reason that I really love the games, and you should too, is the MegaVerse. I really love the fact that you can take any and all the books, except for Recon, which doesn't fit into anything at all. But you could take almost all the books and take characters and port them back and forth. And there's minor tweaks that you need to do with the conversion book, or minor things you need to do, but it all fits into one big MegaVerse. You can just play everything, characters from here, characters from there. Yeah, there's some balance issues with certain character OCC classes, or OCCs I should say, or classes in the game, but as the GM you should figure out, and tell the players, okay, you want to play a vagabond and he wants to play a giant glitter boy. It's probably not going to be the same balance. I would probably suggest you guys work together as a group to figure out something a little bit different. There's going to be a definite balance issue, but hey, the GM, it's your job as the GM to fix those things and help players get along, give them suggestions, you basically have to start out by saying, we're going to play this, here's the tone of the game, and kind of give them a roundabout how it's going to be. It's going to be a heavy, mech thing, or it's going to be just all mutants running wild all over the place. So it gives them an idea how to build their character, and that's why I like the MegaVerse, because you can pull from different areas and add and subtract and do whatever you need. And not a lot of games do that, and that's what makes it unique. And finally, I know I said that was the number one reason, but there is a bonus reason, and that's Palladium Open House. I've never been to one, but I've seen the pictures of it. I've heard people talk about the mega event that they open up the whole entire Palladium. You get to go there, and it's a blast, and you get to meet everybody. They take the time to sit there and answer questions and, give away things, write things, draw things, whatever. Not a lot of gaming companies do that. I don't think any gaming company does that. I think Paizo has their own con, but I'm not sure if they actually are approachable as if how Palladium is and sit with you for hours on end for an interview, or just sit with you because you want to bullshit with you. Not sure. I mean, I've gone to Gen Con myself, and a lot of the writers are approachable, a lot of the publishers, but they're smaller publishers. I remember when I went in 2011 and 12, all the TSR D&D alumni were very approachable. You could find them. They'd chat with you on hours. Frank Menser, great guy, spoke to him. Tim Cass spoke with him. People like that. But the Wizards of the Coast people, they were a little bit more unapproachable because you couldn't find them. I did find a couple that were interns, things like that, and lower staff people. And I'm not putting anybody down by lower staff. I meant like not well-known names. I should say that, so I apologize. But those people were approachable. I did not find the big names of the time like Merles, and I think Perkins at the time was actually an intern. I'm not positive, but I did speak with him briefly. But yeah, that's the great thing about it. You go to the Palladium Open House. So those are the reasons why I love Palladium RPGs, and why you should love them too and give them a shot. Why not sit in a couple games, try it out, and see what you do. Don't forget to hit the like, comment, share the video too as well, just to show people what I think. Maybe that'll help bring some people over. Anyway, keep it original, keep it old school, and good night, everybody.